Ladies and gentlemen, have you asked yourself what would happen if Raila Odinga were to endorse William Ruto for the 2027 seat? Whether he wins AU or he doesn't, let's say he decides to endorse William Ruto for the 2027 re-election. What happens? That is what we are going to answer in this video, including why certain people are doing everything they can to ensure that never happens. If that is something you are interested in, stay tuned. If you are watching for the first time, take a moment, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss subsequent videos. Otherwise, let us jump right into the subject of the day. If Raila Odinga endorsed William Ruto for 2027, then William Ruto wins re-election by a landslide with or without the support of the Mount Kenya. I'm looking at a worst case scenario where whether it is from Meru, Embu, Tharaka, whether it is from former Central Province or the Kikuyus in the diaspora, if let's say they decide that all of them are unanimously going to vote against Ruto and they vote for someone else, if Raila had endorsed Ruto, it will not matter. Ruto will still win by a landslide. Let me qualify that before you walk out and protest. You see, Raila Odinga brings in the former Nyanza province, which is 3.1 million votes. You can check the current IBC voter register. Check it per county and give a total so that you can get what a former province has. The former province of Nyanza, which has the following counties: Kisumu, Homa Bay, Siaya, Migori, Nyamira, and Kisii, has a combined total of 3.1 million votes. Coincidentally, the former Central Province, which has Kiambu, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, Nyandarua, has also 3.1 million votes. Meaning, if you get the support of Raila Odinga come 2027, and assuming that voter turnout is similar in both regions, then Nyanza neutralizes Central. That leaves you with Upper Eastern. Upper Eastern, I mean Meru, Embu, Tharaka. According to the latest IBC register data, that is 1.3 million votes. Okay? And then you have Nakuru, which is diaspora. You have Nakuru and parts of Laikipia, which cumulatively can give you almost 1.6 million. But as you know, not all Nakuru is a Kikuyu vote, and the same is for Laikipia. But let's say it is unanimous. So that is 1.6 add to 1.3. That is now the diaspora, the Mount Kenya diaspora. You add 1.3, which is Mount Kenya East, Embu, Embu, Meru, Tharaka. And then you add the diaspora of Nakuru and Laikipia, and you have yourself around 2.9 million votes. That 2.9 million votes, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, Luhya vote, if you remove Trans Nzoia, is 2.2 million. And with Raila's support, getting Luhya as a block for the first time is possible. Wetangula brings in the Bukusu. Oparanya and Mudavadi and Raila brings in the rest of that Western. That is 2.2 million, which is almost neutralizing the diaspora Kikuyu vote. And by that, I meant I was giving the entire Nakuru and the entire Laikipia as a diaspora. Yet we know that part of Nakuru would be voting Ruto anyway, and part of Laikipia will do the same. But in that scenario, you've almost neutralized. Just Nyanza and Western has almost neutralized the entire Mount Kenya vote. If you come to Nairobi, Raila has consistently won Nairobi, meaning he has gotten over 50%. So let's say Nairobi is a 50-50 case. It is neutralized. Whatever Mount Kenya has in Nairobi, Raila has it. So it will be neutralized. That leaves the Kamba vote, which can be neutralized by Kalenjin vote easily. You've not brought in Coast and Northeastern into the picture. That is why I was telling you, if Raila was to endorse William Ruto, he would win by a landslide with or without Mount Kenya. These figures you can go and confirm on the IBC website. Don't be misled that Nyeri has 800,000 votes. It doesn't. Don't be misled that Kisumu maybe has 1 million votes. They don't have. Just go get the figures and you will realize that former Nyanza province has the exact number of votes as former Central province. Go and check. You will find that Nairobi has about 2.5 million votes, of which more than half are people who support Raila Odinga. So if Raila Odinga was to back Ruto, that will neutralize any other thing that you would expect from Nairobi. You have not brought in Coast, you have not brought in Northeastern. And remember, the Kalenjin vote will neutralize anything that the Kambas were to bring on the table. You understand why the major drive now is to ensure that Raila does not support Ruto. And this is not just coming from the Mount Kenya voters. Actually, there are also Luos who are against Raila supporting Ruto. And here is why. There are people we call political hangers-on. And so in Luo Nyanza, there are these leaders that are usually elected to come and help Baba. I don't know whether you've heard about them. So these leaders who are elected to come and help Baba will become irrelevant if Baba is not on the ballot. Because they cannot ask the Luo voters to vote them on the basis that they are coming to help Ruto. That means that they will be interrogated based on what they have delivered, and some of them have done little to nothing. And so they look at their political future and they're like, if Raila is not on the ballot, then we are dead politically. So trust me, these particular leaders and their supporters will try their level best to convince Raila that it is a very bad thing not to vie. And like I said, the Mount Kenya voters who are currently saying Raila should lose AUC are saying it for the sole purpose that once Raila loses, they convince Raila to vie under the guise that they will endorse him. For them, they know very well that if Raila endorses Ruto, then it is game over, no matter what. It will not even be rigged. I've given you a breakdown. There is no way under the sun that any other combination wins against a combined force of William Ruto and Raila. Unless you are not going to go with arithmetics and you are going to go with emotions, I can tell you for sure that there is no way any other team can win against a combined force of William Ruto and Raila Odinga. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, some people are not very comfortable with the two working together. That's why you see Raila is being called a traitor. That's why you see attempts to overthrow Ruto, because they know that a combination of these two is enough to ensure that Ruto gets a landslide victory. But that is not all. You see, if Raila was to endorse Ruto for 2027, then Ruto, being a man of his word, would want to return the favor. Raila might not be on the seat come 2032, but it will be a candidate of Raila's choosing. And that candidate will get the exact support. It will inherit Nyanza, Rift Valley, Western, Coast, Northeastern, and a huge chunk of Nairobi. And that person will still win. So you now understand where the bitterness is, because if these two people work together, it is very difficult for another combination, the likes of Kalonzo and Rigathi of this world, to rear their head again and get to power. It will be nearly impossible. As to whether Raila can endorse Ruto, that is to be seen. And the reason as why I'm saying that is they don't have a formal agreement of I do this, you do this for me. I don't think. It doesn't exist. So for now, Ruto is supporting Raila for the AUC seat because currently Ruto is the man in charge of reforms at AU. And if Kenya was to get the chairmanship of the commission, which is the executive, is like the CEO of the African Union, it will be very easy to drive through the reforms. And so this is a really double advantage for Kenya, because if we win the seat and our man is also the one that is in charge with reforming AU, and now we have a CEO from Kenya, it will be very easy to push the reforms without any barrier, because these people know each other. Raila and Ruto know each other. It will be easy for them to sit down and see what reforms are supposed to be in place to make AU work for Africans. Okay? So as to whether Raila would be feeling like if Ruto helped him get this, he should also thank him by endorsing him, that is yet to be seen. I don't think it is part of the agreement. Because you see, one thing that has set Ruto apart is that he never assumes things in politics. Never. Ruto doesn't go into any political duel with assumptions. He doesn't assume. He doesn't go into duels under assumptions that I am persuaded that so and so will do. No, no, no. He learned the hard way with Uhuru Kenyatta. You see, when he supported Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru said yangu kumi ya Ruto kumi. When it was time for Ruto, Uhuru decided to call him a thief and mistreated him in ways you've never seen. So he knows very well that he can do his level best and even get Raila elected at AUC. But then Raila might decide and say, after consulting myself, I think I'm endorsing Kalonzo, or we are fielding our candidate as ODM. So that is possible in politics. You can't say Raila can't do that. But I was just giving you a case, a scenario where Raila decides that after consulting myself, I think that in the best interest of my party and that of my supporters, we endorse Ruto for a second term. And when that happens, and if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, Ruto will win with or without Mount Kenya. If you found this video useful, please drop a like and also let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, allow me to thank you for taking your time and watching this video. I don't take it for granted. Let's meet in the next video.